Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Ryan's Chicago tonight. Another fire in Harvey. Tears and frustration. These fires always seem to erupt accidentally and mysteriously. This one was on the 15300 block of Vine Avenue. This was about 6 o'clock, maybe. Give me 1 second, and I'm going to. I want to send this to. Where I was going to possibly have a guest, but I don't know if you want to stick on. Hey Jay, I am doing a co-live here, my nightly thing. Oh Jay, yes, you were supposed to send me photos or videos or something, whatever, but I did. Oh, saw something flashing. I did message you. And you see, all their homes are close together. I mean, this is not okay, you guys. It's not okay. It's not normal. And I will never stop saying that because we should not be normalizing this sort of behavior. Yeah, you forgot me, Jay. See? Hello, Ray and Steve. Hello. Sunshine. Daniel. Hey, Daniel. I'm just doing my nightly news update for Harvey, Illinois, and you had a busy day. Oh, that's okay. Hey, Joshua. Josh. So what I covered earlier is this was about 4 hours ago, 3.5 hours ago. There's another mysterious, quote unquote, unexplained fire in Harvey. This one was like, shoot, not even a block. Hi, Paul. Not even a block from my house. Very, very dangerous. We need people to get involved. We've got to start making more noise, doing something. Certainly to prepare for the elections for next year. But I mean, it's very unsafe, and we don't have any. We have 3, maybe 4 firemen on shift, on duty for each shift. Same for police. We have anywhere from 1 to 4 officers patrolling for the whole city for each shift. That's today, Beth. Yep, just a few hours ago. Remember, there was just a big fire yesterday. You know, like I can barely keep up. I can't even keep. I'm trying to keep record of these. So, Drew is not on tonight on live. Oh, Drew. Yes, he's the cutie pie, but he doesn't really want to talk to me anyway. It's fine. Another fire, and yet relying yet again on other fire departments. Send that in a few K. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Jay. Relying on hey Joseph, other fire departments to, nice beard, Joseph, to come in and save the day. And it's just because the politicians are taking the money and using it on themselves and for things that we don't know because they won't open the books. It's been at least 7 years that they would not open the books. So it's pretty bad. And those of us like me who ask, who's the cutie pie? Oh, I don't know. Those of us that ask questions are the ones that are harassed, maligned. They spread rumors, lies about us. We've been arrested. It's just horrible. How many fires in February? Ooh, let's see. Oh, I don't know. Let me see. What did I write down? I know we've had, I want to say, hey, magical power. I want to say, oh, Stan Cizik. That looks like a nice Polish name. One, two, three. There's probably at least one, though, that I did not record, I want to say. So far this year, I would say we're averaging at least one major fire a week. And that is not, that's probably leaving out a few. I mean, this is not normal and it's not acceptable. So, yeah, I did. I'm going to show a little bit of on my YouTube here some of the photos that I took earlier too. All right, so then since the weather was so pretty, I said, hey, let's take Doggy for a walk. And look at some of this crap that I found. Hold on. Remember those oh yes, if you guys want to see the visual, like I said, I apologize. I really want to connect these, but I just haven't been able to figure out how. The visual, you can find all of my links on Ryan'sGayChicago.com. So I'll put that in the comments. So if you go there, that has all the links, including to the YouTube. Who's looking for the arsonist? That's what I want to know. My sources tell me that the the fire chief, Fisher, is supposed to be investigating the arsons as well as one of the detectives. Then, of course, my question was, so the past 7 years, we've had fires like this for years. What the F have they been doing? What do they do? We pay them big money. Now, then I was told, oh, no, that's a new thing for the police department that they just started maybe a few months ago, that they appointed one detective to help with the fires. But then, okay, if we've had a fire chief that can investigate arsons for the past, however, I'll say at least 7 years, since Clark was in office, they couldn't figure it out. They make a really good salary. I mean, it's not like they lack the resources, right? And these extreme layoffs just happened recently. So anyway, I took the dog for a walk on 154th. Thanks to Jacqueline Clark for posting this photo. So on 154th, the past year or two, took a long time, but the mayor and his supporters on city council backed this repaving project. They tore up all the beautiful old 100-year-old, plus pavers, the brick pavers that were in excellent shape. Tore them all up along with the old streetcar tracks and everything. It was really, really pretty, very historic. Now, a halfway decent, not totally effed up in the head community, or politicians, they would have fought hard to, first of all, they just would have repaved that if they couldn't afford to restore the brick, but they would have kept that and at some point restored it, and you had the money for it, because that's what communities do. Like people, like rich communities pay millions and millions and millions of dollars for brick, and they bring in new brick, and it can only imitate old brick paver streets. because that is considered primo type of pavement. It's easier to replace as long as you have people that know how to do it. But it's easier to replace. It's also easier to take out and put back in sections than asphalt, because asphalt is always cracking, and then you got to patch it, and then it gets potholes and everything. So brick is like really, really primo, but a lot of towns don't do it just because of the asphalt industry, that is constantly putting money into the pockets of our politicians, the pavers, like what's the big one around this area? Oh, I just saw they were in the news. Ozinga. So they do that. It's like the cheap way out, you know what I mean? And then you have to pave and repave, and you're always having to do the payment. But anyway, so they tore it all out. We don't know if they sold it, kept it for, Clark and his buddies could have pocketed the money from all that beautiful historic brick. But I mean, it just infuriated me last year, and also broke my heart, because that's literally like the heart of our downtown. That's the main street, 154th Street. So yeah, so that was all done. They put in cheap gravel and pavement, and now and the streets are already sinking. You can tell. It's like, so it was done cheaply. It didn't need to be done, and they put in these, they call them bump outs, and I'm not opposed to bump outs, okay? But if you will zoom in this picture, this street, I really wanted to have bike lanes. I think that would have been better. I don't think that we should have done. Hey, Brad. Thank you, Brad. Thank you so much. I'll follow you, Brad. And Shores Soup. So bump outs are, in this case, they made them. They're supposed to be catching the excess rainwater. Hey, Brad, where are you from, Brad? So they put these in, and didn't get proper community feedback. I'm disappointed because they get in the way of potential bike paths. We should be able to have bike paths. Now you can't have bike paths on 154th at all. And I'll give you a sense of it if we zoom into with the picture. Okay. Sorry. So this is the street, 154th. Okay. These little things here where you see the plants and the stones, those are the bump outs. So they come into the street, Besides the fact that it makes it impossible, now we can't put any bike paths on the side, because I'm a big fan of that. When you have buses or let's just say buses, because we have a lot of buses driving, it also makes it really, like, sometimes the bus can't fit with just a normal small sized car, going past each other like that. So that's something that could have easily been prevented. Again, they wasted millions of dollars, and you couldn't tell me you didn't realize that a big bus would need room going past even a small car. Okay, so that's idiotic, right? And waste the taxpayer money. The thing, where you can't put the bike paths, but also it just is the way that it's done is confusing for drivers. So as you can see today, look what happened. And I could have told you that this was going to happen. I'm surprised it hasn't happened more. So someone, went over the bump out, that, again, because it juts out into the street, and apparently got stuck. This is what corruption does. You get money for projects, but it's wasteful. It doesn't really do what people in the community want or need, and it actually makes more problems than it solves. Hey, Echo. Oh, cute picture, Echo. Very cute. So this is nuts. I'll zoom it a little bit more so you can see what happened. Hey, Nino. Look at this. Look. So the car's here. So then I took some photos when I was out in the walk. Oops. So look at this. Again, this is where the car was stuck. So, of course, the stones got knocked over, messed up the whole landscape, thing. It was just like, oh my God, you guys. The car got literally stuck on top of it. So anyway, I just thought that was because, I'm like, I told you so. I told you so. And I say these things and I'm like, guys, residents, come out to the meetings, get riled up. Like, don't just accept crumbs from these people because you're used to being starved. Say, no, we don't need this street repaved. That is a horrible idea for a project. No, we're not going to let you do it. We are going to make so much noise and we're going to make your life hell until you listen to the people. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, we have other streets that they don't need to be touching any of that historic brick. You leave that the F alone. Wait until you get someone like me who understands preservation stuff, and then we can get grants where we can restore and like the North Shore suburbs, where they have like brick streets in their downtown because they're considered like really, really premium and they naturally slow traffic down and da da da. They could have taken millions of dollars instead of doing that one street that was in good shape. They could have just repaved over some of the streets that, like, oh my God, they look like Swiss cheese. It's like driving on the moon. It's so horrible. And all they need to be, they don't need to redo the whole street. All the street needs is resurfacing. That's a lot cheaper. You just basically cut off the top layer of asphalt and then you put a fresh layer on. That's all they would have needed. Now, do we need to replace some sewers and stuff like that? Yeah, we do. But our leaders aren't looking for that kind of money, and they don't really care about that anyway. And I'm in a way I'm kind of glad because I hope that we don't do any big projects like that until we get people in office and or we have the residents speaking out demanding better quality. Because like I said, these people, they screw up everything. They're inept and they're corrupt. So moving on. I walked by Myrtle. This is the Pool Tingles, their former house. So the window was open. The yard's a mess. There's a whole bunch of junk. Someone's obviously living there. Look at that. Now, literally, this was a tax-paying family that Mayor Clark, City Council, and the MWRD forced out of their home to build a retention pond, so they say, and a park that we don't need and we did not ask for. And now it looks like trash and there are clearly squatters. This was her father's home and her sister also lived there. Every time I see it, it looks worse. It looks more torn up. It's just, oh, and by the way, and this is totally unsafe now. This was a special ramp they had built for her mom. The township built. See how that's half torn apart? Can you imagine some little kid going up there and this collapses? Infuriating, guys. Infuriating. See all the junk over here. Margarita's here. Hey, Margarita. Alex. On the side of her dad's house. Now, he was almost 90, and they forced him out of his house. Look at all the junk. There are people in the garage. Don't know what they're doing back there. This was a beautiful apartment building. It was a victim of one of our mysterious fires. I don't know, like maybe a month ago or something. And now you can see it looks like it's bombed out. More of the people, you can see the squatters in the yard and in the garage. That was Mr. Poole's garage. Like, I am furious. Look, someone's just hanging out. Now, to be clear, I'm not faulting people that need housing, okay? We shouldn't be getting angry at them. They just want housing. It's the city of Harvey that now owns these properties because they forced our longtime residents. Some of them, they were the first Black families to be able to own on that block as Harvey was desegregating. These mostly Black politicians push these people out of their homes. They're like in their 80s. They raised their children, lost their spouses. They just want to be left in peace. But no, they were forced to sell against their will. They were forced under threat of eminent domain. And now, as if that's not enough, now we have squatters hanging out. And this, I think it looked like a lady in a wheelchair or something, and this guy was like pushing him around the garage. I don't even know what exactly was going on there. Hey, Joey. And I took another picture because, you know, you can still tell on the side, like the roof still looks pretty good. I mean, can you believe that? What a waste. And these were lovely tax-paying citizens. So anyway, then we went down to the corner and we have, hey, Isaiah, hello, Jacqueline. And we have, I'm sorry, you guys, catch up on count. Okay, so we're caught up on counts. My family's old church where my grandparents were married. My mother and her siblings went to school here in church here. I was baptized here. So this was closed by the archdiocese, wrongly closed. I believe that was horrible because this was a small church, but you know what? They paid all the bills and they were a beacon of light for our area here. The archdiocese closed them in 2021. They maintained the buildings well, I would say, until 2023 when they sold it to the city of Harvey. Again, shame on you, Archdiocese of Chicago. You greedy bastards. You're no better than these other big evil corporations. Absolutely no better. They give it to one of the most corrupt city governments in Illinois. So what have they done the past 3 years? Well, they've let the building sit. And I just wanted to show you a little bit of what they look like. This is the school building. So you have the convent here and the church and then the school building. There's the convent. Oh, that's me. That's me in my beach picture. I'm so sorry. This is where Ryan wishes he were at right now, but he's doing his advocacy work in Harvey. But it just really breaks my heart because we could have homeless housing there. We could have transitional housing. We could have senior housing. We could have, it could be those how many buildings? 4 buildings. The 4 buildings could be, it could be community center space. It could be art space. It could be, shelter and support for domestic violence victims. I mean, so many things. It could be co-working space. And instead, the city lets it sit. There was a drug overdose death there, like a year or two ago. You know, they want these things to fall apart. I believe they probably want them to accidentally catch on fire. You know, because for some reason they're all about they want the money and they want the land. It's all about stealing, taking. Thank you, Juan, for sharing. Thank you, Juan. I don't know where are you at, Juan? It's all about, hey, y'all in the queue. Hey, I was just looking at your video before because I was going to share a little bit when you went over the bills. How you doing? I just took a little walk today around my neighborhood by my family's old church. So yeah, very depressing to see. They want these areas to, I guess, you know, they, like I said, they want things to burn. They want to demolish them. It's like they're after the land, and or there's something going on with these real estate deals. I can't tell you exactly what it is in every circumstance because I don't necessarily always understand. Hey, Russell. But it's crazy. It's like you literally have people in downtown Harvey who would love to have housing. And there are countless nonprofits and people who can rehab. We have so many contractors in Harvey alone that have businesses. Don't ever listen to someone say, oh, but you have to just demolish everything because, you know, no one wants to come to Harvey. That is not true. Do you know how many? I don't like that count my full name. Oh, okay. That's okay. Oh, it's Russ with this is my California Russ. Because yeah, you can come up if you want to say hi after or whenever. Just let me know, and I'll send you the link to come up. Actually, let me post it right now. Hold on, post it right now. But don't ever let people tell you that there's no we have to demolish all these buildings because there's no one who wants to invest in Harvey or fix them up. We literally, do you know how many investors in Harvey, but also like outside of Harvey, but in the South End that are like, oh yeah, we'd love to rehab those houses, you know, get some families in them, da 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 da, or we'd love to rehab that commercial building, but the city of Harvey makes it so hard. In some cases, they literally will make you pay money to apply and to present your plan to fix up a building, and they'll tell you "f you" no anyway. Yeah, so if you want to come up, Russ, or whoever wants to come up, you just click on that link, and then it'll open something in your browser, and you have to approve, like to turn your camera on and everything, and then I'll see you pop up here on my end. But I mean, it's crazy. It's like how you have to work really hard, you guys. This is why I know that it's a money making scheme, because you literally have to fight and make the permitting process difficult, make the fees high, and just keep turning people down when you have all these Harvey residents alone, like I said, that have excellent contractor businesses. They're doing work and they're rehabbing buildings and restoring buildings in other communities. They can't even do them here because our crooked ass politicians won't let them. Why? You know there's a reason. You know it's got to be either for money or land. That's what I say. Those are like the top two, or some other kind of resource that they're getting. You know, some favor. But I say it's usually about money or land, and it's really 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 infuriating. So yeah, we got to change that. But yeah, do you want to come up, Russ? Did you figure it out? Let me message you on here maybe. Hey, Michael. Michael Bible. I love that name. Here he is. Okay, so Russ and I just connected today, and he's from California. But I said, oh, he was watching my TikTok live because I did a TikTok live as I was walking, and he was like, oh my god, I can't believe, you know what I'm seeing. So I wanted to give us for something a little different tonight, like an outside perspective. So as someone who's lived in Texas, Arizona, and now California, what did you think as I was taking you on a walk? Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me? Yes, no? Okay, maybe he doesn't have his mic on yet. Can you hear me? Oopsie, hold on. Okay, can you hear me now? Hello, hello. I can hear you.
Hello.
Okay, good. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Yeah, he might have to come out and come back in. Let's try this again. Okay, now can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. So I was gonna say I could hear you, but okay, because you probably didn't hear what I said before. Then I just said when I was taking my walk and on TikTok Live today, Russ just popped on, and he was like surprised as I was describing the sort of corruption and neglect and everything. So as someone who's lived in Arizona, California, and Texas, yeah, what was your, give us an outsider's perception on what some of the things that like I was showing.
I don't know. I had seen someone on TikTok that was in New Jersey, and I started to look up where they were a couple weeks ago. They told me they were in some place called Orange, and and they said like the cops were like corrupt in like Orange, New Jersey. And then I've always heard like Detroit has had some corruption. And then, but Chicago, I've always heard has like a lot of issues, especially in the South Side. But I didn't know that like people were getting their houses like eminent domain, like on such a small, like micro scale where like nobody would even like notice it. Like it, like
Mhm.
nobody would even pay attention. And I just found it really like wild that you told me that it was like kind of like an African American taking an African American's house was even more
Mhm.
wild to me. Like that was even more crazy to me. Especially like, but I feel like it's kind of like you're kind of just out for yourself in the world. Like, I mean, you can find other like supportive gay people, but a lot of gay people are just out for themselves too. So like it kind of
Right.
like made me like think watch out. Like, I mean, I don't know. I was just a little bit shocked how you told me they were like people are like burning stuff down and it doesn't even look like the properties are worth anything. And like
Mhm.
and then I was thinking about the air quality. Like if people are like burning stuff all the time, it's gotta like affect the air quality a little bit in the vicinity for a little bit of time.
Mhm. Right. 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 And the fact that we never. I just realized I'm going to add a little more light. It looks a little dark here. But
I
the fact.
didn't realize somewhere in Cook County, like that's the county Chicago's in, right?
Mhm. Yes.
I didn't realize that there could be like I like growing up in Texas, like I lived like near Houston and there's two big counties near Houston, like Harris and Montgomery. And like I grew up in Montgomery County and it's like really conservative and there's a lot of like corruption, like in my opinion, but I not like not outwardly on like the level like I saw of like neglect. I was just surprised. Like the houses look
Mhm.
cute though. Like that lady, Miss Dorothy, her house was like dude, I would like want to live there. Like it looked like legit.
Right. Oh, thank you. Yeah. No, I love our little city. It just. Hey, Jake. But yeah, we need to clean house. We really need, and I really want more people to come out because a lot of times people won't even come to the city meetings, and either because they are afraid or they feel like nothing's going to change. But I mean, I really feel that that stuff is a self fulfilling prophecy. Like if you just give up and say, well, nothing's going to change, well, then for sure nothing is going to change.
How
Absolutely.
many people live there in the city?
It's about 19 to 20,000.
How can there be a city with that few of people, like that close to Chicago?
Oh no, that's not uncommon. There are a lot of suburbs.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. Yeah, that in itself is not uncommon, but it's just crazy because then there are other towns that are like right next door to us or near us that look a lot better. Like I said, now they still most towns still have those similar corruption issues, but at least they look a lot better on the surface. So it's
Yeah,
just
I've
crazy.
only ever lived places that like look good on the surface that generally have like a bunch of like I guess you would call them white flight communities is where I grew up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I've always seen like a little bit of corruption, but the roads are paved and like there's no empty vacant houses. So people kind of ignore the probably corruption that exists there.
Right. And also how think of how much money politicians, real estate developers, even real estate agents have made over the years out of scaring people into white flight towns and white flight subdivisions. And it's not just white families either, because there are a lot of Black and Hispanic families that have moved out of older areas like Harvey as well for similar reasons. So they're killing it. They make tons of money, in the process of uprooting people and like tearing apart communities. They don't care because again, it's all about profit, money, um, land, resources. But then nothing is solved, right? Like you just relocated people, but then it's crazy because what we're seeing is you have some towns that at one time they were a white flight or an urban sprawl destination, and now they're going through urban decay. But it's crazy. It's just like it just keeps going and going, and then you have people moving further and further out from city centers instead of and
That
then,
was a big one in Texas. Like people are moving like further and further out. Like there's suburbs and suburbs and suburbs, and they're moving out to even farther suburbs because they want to have like a fake country life and they want like more a couple acreage.
and I hate that, and I hate it because it's just that's where I wish we as humans realize that it's more
The
about,
infrastructure
you know,
costs a lot to maintain that when
yeah,
you go really
and
far
living,
out.
yes, and living closer together is better for us. It's better for the environment. And the thing is that if as long as we stop letting the corporations dictate everything, like we can't. Everybody could have an affordable house with enough land. You know, it can be decent, and all it would take is stopping some of these excesses where you have people with their mansions and
I mean, I know people want more space, but it's often like growing up, like because like I grew up in like the city near Dallas, but then we moved when I was a kid. We moved to a suburb of Houston, and there's more suburbs and more suburbs and more. And like the thing I find when people are moving out of a suburb for the farther suburb, it's not always they want more space. It's like a fear driven, like they're scared, like there's crime coming here, and there's really no crime. It's just like the politicians are like shouting that there's
right.
like it's they're like the suburbs have gotten woke, and like the people like start moving even further out. And it was
And
just like
it's very profitable for developers and for people that are in the real estate industry and other people. And that's the sad thing. Like it shouldn't be, but yes, exactly. People profit and they make money off of other people's pain, you know, and basically ripping communities apart. And so, I mean, we've seen like successive generations of that here, and so that's why I chose to do the opposite. And I'm like, I'm going to go back to an older community that is, you know, is a in urban planning terms, we call it an inner ring suburb. So it's like it's a suburb, but the suburbs that are like right close to the border of a city. Like in this case, like we don't touch Chicago, but we're very close to touching Chicago. So those are the ones that like, um, you know, nowadays in a lot of areas they maybe don't look so hot. But the areas that are hot are the ones that are like the subdivisions and the strip malls that are eating up all the farmland and all the forests and all the wetlands and like the places that we need to stay, you know, relatively wild ideally. That's where, because that's where the developers make their money, because again they just, it's all about money. It's not about giving people housing. It's not about doing what's best for people. It's not about doing what's best for the environment, because then keep in mind, with all that sprawl, then usually people have commutes that are like an hour or two driving, and there's no
and
public
then
transportation.
they clear cut the trees. They clear cut the trees like in the newer communities where they build the houses. And then it's like
Right,
I've heard some people like millennials like don't want to buy houses in those communities anymore if they're buying houses because there's like no trees. Like they want like
right.
places with trees.
And I don't blame them. Right. So that's why I'm trying to. I mean, I don't know if you think it's possible, but I'm trying. I'm hoping it's possible that especially younger people will stop doing the sprawl thing, and they'll come back to our older communities that they just need some TLC, and they're closer to the urban centers. They already, yeah, the infrastructure is older, but still all the infrastructure is already there. You already have power, water, sewer, streets, you know. Um, so it's like it's greener, it's better for people socially, it's better, it saves on our resources, you know, on the environment. I don't know. I'm
Well,
hoping, you
I
know.
think cars play a big part in like leaving people disconnected in like non-walkable areas. So that's why I liked living in an urban center in Texas, and then I stayed with my parents in their barn. They have an apartment, a garage, like they have a it's like a full like almost house in their barn. And I stayed with them for a year. And they have like acreage, and like everyone just gets in their like lifted trucks and their giant SUVs, and like nobody talks to anyone. They drive, and then you drive like 3, 4, 5 miles to go to the subdivision. And then you get on the farm to market road that's now like sprawling. And everyone's in their truck
Yeah.
just like about to drive you over. And it takes 40 minutes to get to the freeway that's only 10 miles away because everyone has a giant like SUV.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Yeah. And that is the power of destruction of individualism and capitalism and consumerism, you know, because there's no concern for actually building a better society, right? It's all about consume, 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 consume.
It's all about like escaping into your own little plot that you built yourself so you don't have to leave. Like put a gated fence around. Like I feel like America's going like the way of like people told me growing up like third world countries were, where like the elite people like like secure themselves behind like gates and security because Like kind of like how
Right.
you heard about like South Africa growing up. Like I feel like America's like rapidly heading there.
And I think the rich, elite that are control everything, they're happy to have that. They don't. We are expendable. We're all expendables. Like they don't care about us. They're very
I've
happy to just go from like resort setting to resort setting, around the world.
Yeah, I've been most shocked at seeing the videos of like China, like and how developed their cities have gotten. Like they look like that Disney movie Tron. Like their cities are so futuristic. Like it's just
Right.
crazy to see how they're just like eclipsing us when we just have like urban decay everywhere.
Right. And then you have Elon Musk and Bill Gates and everything, and they're buying another $20 million mansion. You know what I mean? And they're approaching becoming trillionaires, and it's
They're
like
all building bunkers right now.
right, right. It's so excessive that's why I'm just like, guys, I cannot support capitalism. I'm sorry, like I just can't, because the whole system is built on needless continual consumption and trying to get all the resources. It's like playing the game Monopoly. The whole goal of the game is to get as many resources to as few people as possible.
Yeah, like I grew up in like my parents built their own house and like I mean it's like my parents had like a pretty big house and they built like a barn. Like I had a four-wheeler, like we had tons of grass, we had like jet skis and stuff and like but honestly like it was honestly kind of like miserable because they're kind of like slaves to their house. Like when you have like when you have like four air conditioners, like something's
Yeah.
always breaking or you need to like remodel a part of the house or like something's always needing done. When people have those big like McMansions, like and people in their neighborhood will buy them and like not realize the upkeep and get behind on upkeep. Like the houses are a
Mm,
lot to take care of, and the bigger it gets like more complicated. So I live in an apartment,
mm.
like I have a studio, and I don't really ever want like more than like a one bedroom or a studio apartment. I
Yeah,
just
where
don't feel
where
like
are you now? You're in
I'm like in
Vivo.
LA, like in West Hollywood.
So viewers, he's in like the gayest of the gay of LA.
It's not as gay as you would think. Like I moved here because it's like so supposed to be super gay. You'd be surprised. Like I think like gay centers are kind of dying in our country as well, though. Like
Hmm.
like with the invention of apps and stuff, like I feel like less and less like people feel like they have to move to the city. But
Hmm.
growing up in like rural Texas, I feel like I definitely had to get out.
Oh, and yeah, that makes me think of my time in Boys Town. I really enjoyed it. Sometimes I still miss it, where I'm just like, oh, I want to go back and move back there. But at the end of the day, it's expensive, and then I got tired of just being around a whole bunch of privileged gays that often never leave the North Side, and it's just like becomes like a ghetto of like preppy people, and I'm like, oh, I don't like this either. You know what I mean? It just so I like I appreciated my time there, but I'm glad to be in a different spot. And maybe one day you'll find that if you get like my house, like it's small, it's very easy to take care of. That's another advantage of our older communities. They have smaller homes and smaller yards. They're not built as cheap, sprawling like McMansions. They were meant to just be very simple, but well made, elegant homes that will last for as long as they're maintained. And it's just a different way of thinking about life. So like where I live, even though it's a suburb, Harvey was always its own city when it was established. So puppy, get your nose away. So I'm within the downtown, so like I did in my video, I can just go out my door and walk to 154th Street and
But
walk.
you don't have grocery stores, do you?
We there's one, but it's yes,
What is it? Like
it's
a
only one. It's only one. No, it's not a chain. It's a local.
And the
So
crazy part was when you were saying how
yeah.
the like government had shut down the dollar store. That was like crazy to me.
Yes, we have. If you guys did not know that, yes, yep. Because again, it's always about like how can how can they squeeze residents and businesses for money, and it doesn't even make sense if you're corrupt to me, because it's like, wait, if my goal as a politician is to steal money,
I don't
I
know how
want
they
my
would take
town to
on
be
the
successful. Bring
how
in
would
more
they
money.
take on the how would they even take on the dollar store? Like that just doesn't seem reasonable.
They just hold their business license hostage.
I just like, what's the point? Then the people in the town, when it's like a food desert, can't get food. Like,
no, exactly. That is exactly the point. And because our leaders don't live here and they don't care. They don't care if we don't have food. They don't care if we don't have roads. They don't care if we don't have streetlights. That's the crazy thing. They literally.
so the mayor didn't live there in your town?
No. Mm-mm. I mean, he had homes that he owned, but I have several sources, that to this day would always swear and say like, no, like that he would visit his homes, but that no, he didn't stay here. Yep. So it's like, what can you expect? That's why if and when I run next year, one of the things that I'm putting on my platform is residency requirements for all city employees. I mean, the politicians are already supposed to live here, but at least for the employees, because like you should have an investment in your community. But yeah, it's very predatory. It's like, and this is another reason why, like in community development stuff, I tell people, don't say your town has arrived when you have like a Walmart, a Trader Joe's, and a Starbucks. Like those are all chains. The goal of chains and big corporations is not to help your community. I don't care.
I mean, I do feel like Trader Joe's is not the worst option, but Walmart specifically is one of the reasons that we don't have any trains hardly in the US, because they have a Walmart next to the freeway, and every small, like especially in Texas, like they're one of the main reasons there's no public transit, because then you wouldn't get off the freeway and buy stuff at Walmart.
I know it just disgusts me.
I've heard Walmart's done a lot against like public transit because you'd skip over their stores. You wouldn't have to stop when you're driving.
Yeah, they're disgusting people, the Walton family too.
One of them lives like in Texas, and it's like, you can Google it. She ran over someone in a drunk driving accident like 20 years ago or something.
I believe it. Yeah. And that is why that's why a lot, like Elon went to Texas. That's why a lot of rich people will go to Texas, because they're like, Texas is definitely run by several billionaires. I don't know the names off the top of my head, but yeah. So it's like it's open season on everybody else. But if you're a billionaire, like yeah, Texas will do whatever you want.
But also, if you're like upper middle class, you can like have a good life in Texas too. But like, I mean, I don't know, like.
At what expense would be my question,
Yeah, the Texas, like, I don't know. It's gotten like a bunch of people moved to Texas. So Texas doesn't have much outdoor activities to do. And after the pandemic, all these people started moving there. Like Texas has always been like heavily populated, but all these people from California started moving in and moving in and moving in, especially like Austin. A lot of them have left, but I'm telling you, people keep moving to Texas from other states like the Midwest and California.
Right.
And I'm telling you, it's like the roads have gotten so full, like it's ridiculous. And like, it's like, for what? And the prices have gone up as well. Just like, it's not as expensive as California, but the prices have gotten really high in Texas over like since the pandemic with the influx of people. And there's nothing to do outside, and the weather's not great. So like, that's why I decided to move to California.
Oh, I was going to say that was your reason for moving. What concerns me too, though, is that it's interesting because, in California, they have really bad power problems because of the private utility, that controls electricity. But you have similar issues in Texas. Again, the private utilities, they have the money and they have the ability to fix the electrical grid so that you wouldn't have the failures like they had with the ice storms, but they won't.
They did have the failures with the ice storms, and where Houston has like all above ground power. Like Houston has more above ground power than Dallas and Fort Worth, and Houston is like hurricane prone. When I was staying with my parents, a Category 1 hurricane came. That's like the least hurricane, and they were without power for over a week, and they live 80 miles from the coast.
Right. And that will not, under our current system, it'll never change because it's run by private corporations.
So my parents,
rich people have their power.
So my parents have enough money, so they have a whole house gas run generator.
Right. But again,
And
it's
everyone
like,
in their neighborhood has a generator, but like not everyone can afford a
what do you
generator.
what do you exactly what do you do with everybody else? It's like it becomes like Hurricane
And their
Katrina.
barn didn't have a generator, so I had to go stay in the main house like when the power was out.
Right. But it becomes like Hurricane Katrina, where the people that are the neediest, the rich people and the politicians are just like, ah, screw you, whatever, and then they have nowhere to go. And that's when a whole bunch of people ended up relocating to Houston because they
A
just,
bunch of people growing up after Katrina ended up in Dallas, Fort Worth, and Houston, and a lot of them didn't go back to Katrina ever, to New Orleans ever.
right. And you kind of can't blame them because they're people like told, and the federal level too, like they were totally sold out. It was just like, oh, you're poor. Oh well.
I just remember Kanye West, like he was. You remember his quote?
Well, what did he say? Remind me.
Oh, he was on all those hurricane relief with like what's that comedian guy, Mike Myers or Michael Myers? What's the comedian guy?
Mm.
And he was like, George Bush doesn't care about black people. Remember?
Oh, no, that's true. That's true. Oh, yeah, yeah. The federal government like really screwed over
But
like
haven't there? I didn't really at the time. I was a kid and I didn't think anything was that wrong with it. But aren't there like Katrina documentaries on Netflix now and stuff or Hulu?
probably. And I didn't know as
There's
much. I didn't know as much either at the time, but also just because I wasn't as familiar with New Orleans. But then I learned a little bit about like the history and how those areas were, was segregated, and not only by race, but by income, and so basically you just had whole areas where, again, it was just like, well, F you people, you're all poor. A lot of you are
the levee broke. The levees broke. They were supposed to hold the water back because New Orleans is under sea level.
right. No, right. But what I'm saying is that people that have more money were okay.
Yeah,
But
probably. They
the
always
rest of the
invest in the
people, it's like
areas.
you're poor. It sucks to be poor, and that's just not right. Like in this country, like what you have, the amount of stuff you have, like it shouldn't be a reflection on your quality of life. Like you're not an evil person because you are poor, but
Well,
that's what our media wants to tell us.
I just growing up, they told you about like sharecroppers that came to the US, like
Hmm.
tenement housing. They told you about all these bad like workers' rights things and how like it had all been resolved and how the US was like this beacon of hope and there was nothing wrong anymore. And then you get older and I feel like there's so much wrong now that people like didn't like that they kept hidden from you.
Right, right. It's like we're
Like
learning. I feel like I'm having to relearn history, and then
I
recently.
feel like my education K through 12 was all indoctrination.
Yes, exactly. No, no, you're so right. Uh, Beth said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Solomon. I missed your question. What's Russ's background? Does he live close to Harvey?" No, no, no. He was watching my live today on TikTok. I was touring Harvey, and I said, "Oh, Russ, you should come on my show," because he was like, "What?" He was like, "WTF?" He's like, "Wait, I is this real? I didn't think that there was this much corruption in anywhere in the U.S." And I was like, "Oh yeah," I'm like, "It's plenty of places, but yeah, especially Harvey." So that's why I wanted to have him on to give like an outside perspective. And then Beth says the lower area flooded the worst. Yeah, yeah, yeah. New Orleans. Yep, yep, yep. Oh yeah, they didn't care. The lower ninth ward, I think, was the worst. But yeah, I feel like we've totally been indoctrinated. So I'm like learning, like with the like Bad Bunny's show in like Puerto Rico. And I was like, oh my God, like the more I learn about that, I'm like, our government has been so horrible. They experimented on Puerto Rican women. They like sterilized them. They basically took all the farmland away. And the reason why there were so many Puerto Ricans in New York, I found out, was because not because they wanted to be there, but because they took all the farmland away. They wanted to make sure it was all for like commercial crops. And so they sent people off the island to New York because they were like, well, sorry, you can't farm now. And now apparently they used to grow all their own food and now they're totally dependent on imports. I'm like, oh my God, this is horrible. But like you said, are you taught that in school? No. But then with the Epstein scandal, everything's starting to make more sense now. I think I told you this earlier, or I said this earlier in my live, but on TikTok, but the Ghislaine, I think she says her name's Maxwell, who worked with Epstein. Her father worked in British intelligence, maybe the Mossad as well. But anyway, he bought our textbook companies. So he literally decided what we were going to be taught as kids. what was important for history
Well,
and
and
what.
then even the public schools, though, like I don't know if it's like this everywhere, but the public schools, they rebuy the same textbooks like every 3 to 5 years. They buy the new edition, and all they do is just move some stuff around.
And it's always that, like Houghton Mifflin, McGraw Hill. It's always the same big companies, and it's like, and it makes sense. It's like, oh yeah, this is totally a scam. But then, like, you don't learn. Like, I'm like, oh my goodness, all the stuff I didn't learn. But oh well, I guess it's never too late to learn. Never too late. Never too late. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions though for our guest before we wrap up for the night? Don't be shy. But yeah, Russ, we can always bring you back sometime. Thank you for popping at the last minute. He was very gracious because I kind of sprung this on him not that long ago. But this is good. I love it. I want more guests. I love having gay guests too. We need more. We need more gay. Make sure that we have the gay in Ryan's Gay Chicago.
But you had it all set up to join, like this whole setup, like outside of YouTube. I've never seen it like set up like.
Oh, StreamYard. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Yeah, it helps. And then what that's why I've got to figure out how to connect StreamYard to TikTok, because like right now I just have my camera separate. So, with the TikTok live, but there is a way to connect it. So it will, because right now this live is going to Facebook and to YouTube. But there is a way to connect it. I just can't find it. I'm determined. Now, did you see the guy from Texas earlier that was on the TikTok live too? Because he said he works actually in computers, and he was going to look into that for me. I don't know if you saw him, but he was sharing a little bit about his life in the Houston area. But
Was it the guy that was on with that Hermes guy, or who was it? No, I
no,
think I was walking my dog then.
oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. No, I can point him out to you. But
He said he wanted to move from Texas. Is that what he said?
I think they were thinking about it at least. Yeah.
Yeah, I like left Texas and I went to Arizona, and I was thinking about going back to Texas, and I said like no, but I know recently they've been kind of like saying they're gonna like stop doing like gay marriages in Texas and stuff. Like,
they crazy. They
oh,
better have.
they're like they're crazy.
They need those people. We got to rebel. We got to support each other. Just like they did in Minneapolis. Like we can't.
I just got the heck out. I'm like bye.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, at least the Texans should be armed. At least that's one good thing.
Yeah, I honestly was kind of concerned with like everything going on, that like Californians weren't like armed. But now that I've been in California, like people act like California is like all the people here are soft.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's a lot of crime here. Like there's people are like rough and tough here. Like there's like a lot of people have like weapons here and stuff. Like you'd be surprised.
That's good to hear. Yeah. No, that's good. I hope so. Because
It is harder to apply. You have to. I'm thinking about doing it. You need to apply and then wait 30 days. And I need to like work on doing it. But I know in like Arizona and Texas, you can just walk in and buy whatever you want instantly.
Yes. Yeah, that's one thing that I disagree with a lot of like, I think being a liberal is not the same thing as a leftist. I would say I'm a leftist because see, if you go further left, like Marxist, Leninist,
if you go far enough left, you get your guns back.
Yes, because it is not any big socialist in the history, like whether it's Marx or Lenin or Stalin or Mao. They knew, they were like, the people have to be armed. They have to be, and it's interesting because it's exactly what the MAGA people and the people on the right say. They say we all should be armed in case our government becomes tyrannical. Well, our government's been tyrannical forever, but you notice whenever certain people get armed, then they get freaked out. So if it's like black people get armed or gay,
the Black Panthers, yeah, I know.
And it's like, but wait, you guys were right. Like, but
there was an article about it. There was actually an article in the Rolling Stones. I have a copy of it. It was like 2 or 3 years ago. It was about like LGBTQ people arming themselves in Texas, and like the people were really pissed off. Like
the people were like, why? You guys say this all the time. You're like, everybody should be armed because the government could be tyrannical. I'm like, okay, the government's going to be tyrannical and try to come after me because.
And then they go, no, not like that. No, not like that. Like,
yeah, exactly. And I'm like, so wait, so you're saying only certain people have human rights and should have guns to defend themselves? Is that what you're saying?
And I know like Idaho has like some like crazy militias too.
Right, right. And it's like in many ways I don't like I'm like, okay, like I understand that. Like, yeah, you should be able to protect yourself. But then the fact that you should be shocked that other people also want to protect themselves just because maybe they might be a little different from you, like, of course they want to. Like, dude, you're not the only human being on earth. These people are
Yeah,
nuts.
I honestly think about like leaving the country sometimes. Like I don't know.
I hope you don't though, but it's funny that you say that though, because I was talking to somebody else who lives in this area and he's also a gay guy and he was saying that too. Cause he's like, yeah, it's just tough. I lost my mom and this is going on. And I'm like, I know, but like, let's not give up. Like, let's just try to support each other. So I hope that people don't decide to do that en masse because
I mean,
honestly,
I feel like really good now that I've been in California for a little while. Like I like don't
oh, good.
even like I've tried to stop watching the news, honestly. I know that's like bad, but it was stressing me out too
No,
much.
no, but you're right in that corporate media especially exists to scare you and intimidate you so that you feel helpless and overwhelmed and that so you don't do anything. And so we do have to be careful about what we consume and how we treat our whatever you want to call it, mind, spirit, so that you're not taking in too many things and you're just like, oh, I'm so overwhelmed, the world's ending. So then I want to shut down and do nothing. Because that's not helpful.
No.
We just get depressed and Jay, you agree, news never helps. Yeah. Like I like to stay informed, but also that's why I usually get a lot of news from different social media sources that I
Well,
trust.
that's where I was getting all my news from Reddit, and it was just like overwhelming.
Oh, okay. Oh, I don't usually use Reddit for news. That's interesting. Usually, I'll just see stuff on Facebook or Insta, but it's like it'll be
No,
like,
you'd be really surprised. Like you'll see stuff on Reddit like hours before it's in like the actual news. I'm surprised. Like
hmm,
I'm really surprised. Or like on Twitter or Reddit, you'll see stuff like hours before it's reported by like the regular news. And like you'll get like home video of stuff too. Like it's like it was I was freaked out the past year. I was watching way too much news.
hmm. Yeah, I would say to a certain extent I like that, but yeah, it's just we don't want to drink water through a fire hose, I think. And that's why I always try to tell people Reddit's like the real news. Oh, Jay, you too? You get it from that high stuff. You get yours from that? Oh, okay.
Someone else, did they get their news from Reddit as well?
Yeah. Jay from Ireland says that too. Okay, well I guess
Oh yeah,
I've
you'd be
been missing out.
you have to find like the subreddits, but once you do, like you're like, I mean, it's just
Oh,
like you won't even be able like Reddit. You can get like the news is like insane on Reddit.
I guess so. Oh, Jay says I love Reddit. It's like my life. I had no idea.
I
Wow.
got off Reddit and I haven't really been on for like a couple of months, and I started just like consuming brain rot content on TikTok, where I found you.
Okay. Well, and I was gonna say maybe there's a way. I was trying to think of a way that we could do that. I'm sure you can get symptoms from there. It's brilliant. Symptoms? I don't know. What do you mean, Jay? But you know, sometimes I think about that. Like maybe there's a way that if we just say like, okay, I can be on this site, but I'm gonna limit my time or something. So that you don't get sucked in because news or not, isn't it so easy to do that? Like so I get to stuff on my phone and I'm like, oh my God, how did all this time go by? Because you're looking at one thing and then it leads you to another thing and then it leads me. And I'm so bad with that. Like once I get into something and I'm like, no, but I have to follow the trail. And then before you know it, 2 hours went by.
And I turned on screen time where it like where it's on the iPhone. It like if you use an app for so long, it like closes the app for you. You have to enter your
Mm.
passcode to get more time. And I literally just I quit. Like I wouldn't follow it. I just kept hitting like add more time and entering my passcode. Like, and I was just consuming like national news like crazy. And I was just
Mm.
like,
Yes, that was the other thing I want to mention. I think the antidote for that is because people get, wait, hold on. If you're anxious or nervous, ask Reddit and you get real-time symptoms. What? Yeah, I have two
oh,
lives.
if you like have any kind of symptoms, you probably don't want to search on Reddit. You can search anything. I go on Google all the time and I search something and then I type Reddit afterwards. And then you get like
Mm.
real like what people have said.
Yeah. Oh, okay. No, that is good though. I like to get
You
that.
Google your question and then add Reddit after the end on Google.
Okay. No, I'm glad you said that. I do prefer that versus stuff that's just paid content or bots, you know.
Yeah, this is always like but you'd be surprised. A lot of the accounts are starting to be bots on Reddit as well. It's kind of shocking.
I'm sure because it's all over social media. Don't Jay says don't Google it, Reddit it. Okay.
Yeah, but I Google it, but I type Reddit after on what I'm Googling.
Mm. Well, I think one antidote to instead of people just watching the national news and being like, "Oh, I'm overwhelmed. Trump is bad. And now I can't do anything. I'm just going to shut down," is maybe limiting that, and then, like I said, instead shifting to local things and saying like, "Okay, how can I make a local impact?"
Well, I mean, because it's only been like the past 100, 200 years that people are consuming news from all over the world. Like it's
Right,
literally only been the past 50 years. Like you used to only know about what went down at like 10 miles within your area. You know what I mean?
right, right. It
Like
wasn't
a
so
100 years ago, we didn't have the news channel. Like,
right. The 24-hour news cycle, which often is not helpful because again, it's just all about making money anyway. So Google scares you, Reddit calms you. Okay. Jay swears by Reddit, I guess. But,
it didn't calm me when I was watching national news on Reddit the past year.
okay,
But
so Jay,
I can
this
doom
is a
scroll
no.
on Reddit.
You can what? Oh, you
I
do
can
scroll.
do Reddit's like not bad, but I had to like turn off some of the news subs I was subscribed to.
Oh, okay. And Crook County says you
Have you
can
ever
win.
used Reddit?
Yeah.
Have you used it?
Only if it comes up in my searches. Like I'll do a Google search every once in a while. Like sometimes if I'm looking for instance, like historic preservation stuff, I'll be like, what's the best thing to to the best natural wood cover, coating for this, da 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 da. And then a lot of times that will come up.
You know how like message boards and forums were back in the 2000s?
Yes, yes.
That's basically what Reddit is, except it's like millions of subreddits.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like r slash like whatever you want to find. Like they're like message boards inside Reddit is basically what it is. There's probably one for your city. Have you ever been on your city's Reddit?
Mm-mm. We can look though. Let me see. I could just try to pull it up. 1 second here. Okay, let's see. Reddit's good for other things, not just news. Oh,
Type
you're
like
right.
Harvey, Illinois Reddit.
Harvey, Illinois. Oops, Reddit. You see this? What happened to Harvey? Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, okay.
Chicago suburbs, Ash Chicago. So I don't know.
Potentially taking a job in Harvey, but I've heard things.
Mhm.
That was the second one.
Yes, and I was gonna say maybe there isn't one just for
There probably is, but you probably would have to search like on the.
to go to
But
Reddit itself.
what the fuck, him and Harvey?
Do you? Oh, this is one of my buddies. Yes, I love. Oh, Kevin's so great. See, he tried to help. He said the past few mayors are awful and incredibly corrupt. It's exhausting. I proposed a dedicated historic district in downtown to receive protection and funding from the state and Fed to revitalize downtown. Nope, they're trying to demolish Motor Row instead, and the building mysteriously caught fire overnight. Yes, it did. I'll never forget that. Yep. Yep. Oh, Kevin, I love you, Kevin. Kevin's great. Anyway, but yeah, so what would I just put it in here? Would I do r/Harvey?
You could type Harvey, but if you don't have an account, it's probably going to make you join Harvey. Type the Harvey.
So nothing's coming up. In other words, it might just not exist. Huh?
It might not exist with only 19,000 people, but there might be one that's like South Chicago, like that one Chicago suburbs. When you were on
Okay.
Google, when
Oh,
you were
look
on
on the
Google,
right. I just noticed on the right, here's some things.
there's like Hurricane Harvey though, is what that is. But what's the first one? F Harvey.
No, that it's a different. I know, and it's a common enough name. For instance, there's a Harvey, Texas, or no, I'm sorry.
Harvey was a hurricane.
There's a Harvey, Louisiana. There's a Harvey, I think like Nebraska or something. You know, like there are
That's
other.
why I said you can use Google to find stuff on Reddit a lot easier. That's just my opinion.
Oh, okay.
Like I always use Google to find stuff on Reddit.
Yeah, but anyway, at least we checked it out. At least we tried. And then you guys, I wanted to share a little bit. I don't know if I'll probably wait till tomorrow, but All in the Queue did a great review of, and I can show you a little bit too, Russ. You can see this is another YouTuber that she does some great work covering, but like she covered
Oh,
a
I
little.
saw her in your chat. I saw her in your chat, all in the queue.
Yeah, she was covering the bills list. This is what I think I mentioned. Did I mention?
Who opened up a brick wall? It says brick wall opening. AMZ construction brick wall opening. Does anybody know where the brick wall was open? Why?
That's what I want to know.
What building was it in?
Yes. Yes.
I didn't know y'all had so many municipal buildings, Harvey.
Yep.
But anyway.
Oh, I just know, maybe she didn't realize. By the way, this is something I've covered. Flock Group Inc. Look at the payment.
Oh, do you know what
almost $183,000?
Do you know what Flock is?
Yes. No, I've talked about it before, but the thing is, we're paying all this money, and it is the worst, creepiest, most criminal spy surveillance stuff ever. Like our police department, they barely know what it means to solve a crime.
My parents' neighborhood
crimes.
My parents' neighborhood in Texas has flock cameras. And when I lived in Scottsdale, Arizona, they had flock cameras on the roads, the police department. Here in LA and West Hollywood, I see flock cameras around. These cameras are all over the country.
You have to protest. That's what I'm saying.
Did you hear about in Texas that I guess this girl was going to have an abortion and she had left the state, and the police department in Texas used the flock cameras to track where she went out of state, out of their jurisdiction?
No, I'm telling you, it's creepy as fuck.
Have you seen the Ring cameras now? The Ring cameras, they're doing AI face detection on the Ring, all the Ring cameras now.
Get rid of Ring too. I have cameras, they're not Ring, but I want to eventually get to do it where I have my own LAN,
local storage cameras. Yeah.
Right. You know, instead
of the old days. We're going back to the old days again.
But you have to, if you know, being a little bit more analog, I think, you know, it just protects you. But yeah, those flock things. So not only are they bad, but here, let me zoom in because I realize this is kind of small. But if I zoom in, okay. So this is what I told people. I said I've FOIA'd it. I submitted a Freedom of Information Act request, and I've shared this several times. I'm going to keep sharing it. Flock Group Inc. We're paying over 5 years. I want to say it's $2.3 million. This is for a company that's or a city that are corrupt politicians. They won't open the books, but they always tell us that we're in a financial crisis. Oh, are we? So then how do you have money to pay the shit? Like, and she's so right. Like, look at this other stuff. Bradford. Space Saver mobile system, fixed shelving, $65,000 for shelving. $14,000 for temporary. What are you heating? And why is it temporary? Why are you paying almost $15,000 for it? So that's the kind of stuff that, and remember, these aren't receipts. These are bills list. So
yeah, there's not an itemized receipt there for what they did.
No. So in other words, maybe this is the stuff that they're okay with us knowing about. So then my question always is like, I want to see all the receipts, everything. My question is, what things are they paying for that are not on the bills list? Because if this is just the stuff that they're showing us, what are they not showing us? And I know, like I've had some of my sources. Hey, Dylan, welcome. I've had one of my sources tell, or a few sources say that, you know, our police will give you tickets for stupid things and they'll tow your car. It's $1,000 to $2,000 to get your car back. It's a scam, and again, that happens all over the country. You know, to different levels. It's not as bad maybe in every town, but it's really bad here. And then the question becomes, okay, where does that money go? So I have several sources. Oh yeah, they take that cash and that payment. Now, this was before, you know, at least when our mayor was still around. Now I don't know who it's going to, but you know, cash payment comes every week. and it's at least $10,000. So where's that money go? That's not going to be on that bills list. But
For the parking tickets,
for the towing fees.
and for the tow company is probably getting a bunch of kickbacks too. It's probably someone's friend's son or something.
No, that's the payment that the towing company brings back, and they leave the cash for the mayor. And now that he's out of the picture, I'm assuming maybe the interim mayor or somebody else. But you know what I mean? So it's like, and that's just from one source of income, and it's cash. So it's
do y'all have buses in the city?
Not run by the city. No, luckily those are run by an outdoor agency. Thank God.
Because here in California, when I was moving here, all the buses have AI cameras that can give you tickets now.
Ooh.
And so you're allowed to make a right turn in the bus lane. Does that make sense? You can make a right turn in the bus lane.
Yeah.
And I was turning into an apartment I was trying to tour. And I couldn't turn. There were like homeless people, and there's a guy on a bicycle like crossing, and the alleyway had people down it. And I didn't end up touring this apartment, but I was trying to turn down this alleyway. And the bus gave me a ticket for being parked in the bus lane when I was turning. And it's $298 or something.
Now, did you protest it at least and get it?
I've through the first step of protesting it, and now I have to appeal it again to go to the next step.
Hey, Reggie.
Welcome. But all the companies around here, all the cities, they're so there's those flock cameras, the ring cameras are getting all hooked up, and now the buses, the AI systems are giving tickets automated on the buses for like, and then they also said I've seen like handicapped people. I guess they're allowed to be dropped off on the curb anywhere. People are dropping handicapped people off like Ubers and getting tickets from the AI bus system too.
Not nice. That is not nice. But again,
it's probably coming to the Chicago area pretty soon. I mean, all the cities around here are getting hooked up on it.
And you know what? There have been countries or cities all over this country though that they have people have protested and they've canceled their flock contracts. So that's what I'm pushing for. I know Oak Park, Illinois just got rid of theirs. There's a few more in the Chicago area that have. But yeah, it's like you got to push for it. Otherwise, these people don't care.
Well, my parents' neighborhood has had flock cameras for like 6 or 7 years now. And when they first got them, access to them was heavily controlled. Like it was like, you had to enter like a paragraph reason for why you were searching for license plates and stuff. And when they first got them, the constable and like the sheriff's department didn't want anything to do with looking at the database. But now the sheriff's department, you don't even need a reason. You can just look up on the flock database and they're just looking at people's license plates and tracking them like illegally. That's like illegal. Like you need a warrant to track people like that.
Right. And they can do it all over the country.
And your taxpayer dollars, $180,000 are going to these cameras that just allow like unwarranted searches.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell people in Harvey, because some people are like, oh, hey, oh, good, Reggie. Oh, he's visiting South Carolina. He said that they canceled the ones here in Minnesota. Good. Did you guys protest? Very good, Reggie. Tell me how it happened. But yeah, people are revolting. So if enough people speak out, they will. But I mean, people better, because this is serious. Palantir, the closeted gay guy that thank God someone outed him. The Peter Thiel.
Gawker did back in the day.
Oh yeah, I didn't know how long ago that was.
And then they did something with Hulk Hogan's like affair, and he paid to sue Gawker and put him out of business because they had outed him previously.
Yeah, these rich people, I hate them. Oh, that's.
Have you seen the story? Have you seen the story about him?
How did they cancel him though, Reggie?
He has a husband, but there's a story. Yeah. However, he also had a boyfriend that fell out of a high-rise apartment off the balcony in Miami in Florida.
Oh,
have you seen that story? There's a whole article in the Atlantic or some other press about it.
I would be very suspicious if someone fell out of a
I feel weird talking about it right now.
Yeah, I don't trust any of those people. You can't trust them. Just like Epstein commits to, what? Sure.
Yeah.
He did. He sure did.
they had video 5 years later of it allegedly after they said the cameras weren't working initially. Like, I don't know. I don't even like the whole point is to just flood the zone and for us to not know what's going on.
Right, but we definitely know, you know what it wasn't. Oh, brother C, I was a. That's funny. Last week's town meeting, the board got called out after it was discovered the last 4 years they spent over $13,000 each of those years to purchase softballs for the youth centers, just softballs. Exactly, that was the contractor was somebody's buddy, and they were overcharging him. That's how they always make money. I bet you. Reggie says, I believe the subsidy councils canceled. You mean suburban? Councils canceled the contract. I'm not sure people protested. That's exactly how they do it. Way too much information. Yeah. Oh, to overwhelm. Right. They want to the whole one of the strategies is to overwhelm people with so many crazy theories that what happens is that they want you to doubt your senses, but we cannot doubt our senses. And that's why I try to tell people, I get it, Reggie, yes. But when like people have called me and they said, but Brian, I don't think the mayor really died. Do you think the FBI hasn't been hiding as an asset? Or do you think that, it was something he did himself or something someone did to him? And I said, you know what? I can neither confirm nor deny. And I also don't feel burdened because I'm only going to try to make conclusions. You have to stick to the scientific method. If I can see it and I can reasonably, observe it and quantify it and prove it, great. But otherwise I'll just try to stick to the fact, I'm like, okay, well, we were told he died. We were not really told why officially. And to my knowledge, nobody's seen the body, and I haven't seen the body. So there you go.
How has no one seen the body still?
Yeah. And then the rumor is that they had a very small private funeral, and the rumor is that he was cremated. But those are all rumors. Nothing's official. There's no proof. So that's why I just say, you know what? People are you can put out as much stories as you want. Don't make it. Their goal is to make us doubt our senses. You don't have to doubt your senses, but that's why I just tell people, only judge based on what you've seen, not on well, I saw this on NBC, so it must be true, or Betty Sue told me, so it must be true. Yeah, but ask questions. Use critical thinking. Did you see it? Does it make sense to you? And a lot of people just don't do that. But if we can just train ourselves to do that, that would save a lot of BS.
So people said he may have been cremated.
That's a rumor, right? And so again, I'm just like, okay, great. But
I've heard of funeral homes. Like there was a funeral home in Texas that was like going out of business, and they were just like storing the bodies like in the freezer, and they were just giving people concrete dust instead of cremating the people. Like, how do you even know that it's the ashes of the person if they cremated them?
I would say I can neither confirm nor deny. But what I do know is that there was major scandal going on. He was being investigated by a lot of authorities. He disappeared for a few months, basically. And then all of a sudden, he mysteriously and suddenly dies. So I'd say, okay, guys, well, let's go based on the facts. And then, we'll see what we find out, if anything. Oh, then Brother CIA, you were saying, yeah, not Chicago. No, but that's good that you guys asked questions and pushed for that.
Did they say anything about the flock cameras, how they got rid of them in Minnesota?
Oh, no, he said he's not sure. He thinks that people he's not sure. He just knows that the contracts were canceled. But usually mostly I've heard because people protested. Brother C, I was A says, we have been programmed, the taxes that we pay, federal, state, etc. If you work overtime, even more taxes get withdrawn. Imagine how much better life would be if instead of paying 30 to 40% of your income to taxes, we kept 85 to 90% and paid 10%. How much different life would be. Yeah, well, the thing is, we don't need to like literally our government, we have they call it a fiat currency. We have a sovereign currency. The government prints money. They can print as much money as we need for anything. The only thing that really that limits us, just like any other sovereign country that has a fiat currency, is resources. So they can print as much money as we need, and they do. They give our money to the rich. They give trillions of subsidies to all these big companies like SpaceX and you name it. But then we're left begging for healthcare.
There's no back.
There's no back.
where's our infrastructure program like they did in the 30s and 40s? Like, was it Roosevelt or who or
The
Theodore?
rich
Who?
don't care because, as you said, they're living in their private estates. They don't want us to be able to get around, so we can have a better, rebellion to take them out of power. No, they're like, good. We hope those little peons die because their bridges collapse. I mean, it's sad, but what did you say? FBI is not having that douchebag. Oh. God bless our military, but the defense budget will be over $1 trillion. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Literally, we have a fiat currency. Whatever we need, the government, between the Fed and the Treasury, they work together and they can get whatever okay, well, we need to do this, like COVID. Well, we need all the support for people. They're not working. This is horrible. Okay, well, we'll print the money. That's not what caused inflation.
It did.
The inflation was caused by corporations because they
decided that they wanted to raise the prices because there was now more money. But yeah,
no, there's no one to tell. There's no one, like in China, they literally will execute, and they have executed billionaires and rich people for doing crimes. There's no one here that will check these rich people. So, like, if you just look at the grocery stores alone, I think I want to say it's like 4 or 5 corporations own the vast majority of grocery stores. Now, the names, no, they'll keep all the local names, but they've all been put into these conglomerations.
They do.
So it's easy to raise prices. And then they just
when I was in Texas, Kroger is like a grocery store that's a lot of places. In Arizona, they have Kroger, but it's a store they bought. It's called Fry's. And then here in California, they have a Kroger store, and it's called Ralph's. So and when you get your prescriptions, they list all the brands on the package. Like it's all an illusion.
It's all exactly. And so and then to hey Sarah, I'm doing well. Sorry, I'm just.
You know what else is worse is I've seen it happen a lot in Texas. I haven't paid close attention in Arizona and California, but in Texas, all of the plumbing companies and all of the electrician companies are, well, actually, especially HVAC and plumbing. The HVAC companies and the plumbing are being bought up by private equity, and they're spending they have the money. They have the money to spend $40,000 and $50,000 a month on advertising, and their billboards end up everywhere. They're the only HVAC and plumbing company advertising on the TV, and then they put all the other smaller guys out of business. But they're also buying up all the air conditioner parts so that the smaller guys can't repair air conditioners too.
I'm telling you, it's all a scam. And then the one time, like with COVID, the one time the government does something that's halfway right, and they say, we have people suffering and they're going to die and they can't survive because they can't work because it's epidemic. Let's print money and give them resources, because we're only limited by the real resource. In other words, you can print as much money as you want, but if you have a shortage of nurses and that's your problem, you need more nurses for healthcare, that won't help you. Then you can still print the money, but remember, it has to go, the money is still limited by the actual resources. Same thing, like if you're like, oh, well, we need to build houses, but we don't actually have the materials to build the houses. That is a limitation, but the actual money isn't. And we know that because, as brother CI said, the defense gets over $1 trillion every year, and they never blink an eye because they don't need to. They just say, okay, here, we'll write you a check. How much do you need?
The worst, though, is during COVID, when all that money was printed, they gave it to it was the Paycheck Protection Program. The amount of restaurants that were near me that took a giant sum from the Paycheck Protection Program, and then they shut down and didn't pay their employees. And the money was for them to pay their employees. And they just went and bought boats, and all they did was they went and bought cars, boats, jet skis with them. Did you not notice, at least in Texas, a lot of restaurants closed down and quit paying their employees, and the money was to keep the business running and pay the employees, and they just kept it all for themselves, the business owners.
And that shows that, in other words, that we need to be rebelling. We should be in the streets. We're way too polite about things here, and we should be calling for better treatment. Like the help should be going directly to the people. Yeah,
it shouldn't be going to the companies.
Well, and just all they would have to do, it's not even hard. Just use the tax system. Just say, hey, everybody, we're going to give everybody, whatever, you name it. We're going to give everybody a $15,000 tax credit, or, there's so many different ways you could do it. It's easy to do. It's not because we don't have, we lack no resources. We are one of the most resource rich countries in the world, and we have brilliant people. We lack the will because the rich people that control it, they don't want to share, and they will never share unless we make them. I mean, that's the reality. And Brother C.I. Wazay says the U.S. military maintains a massive global presence with an estimated 750 plus bases across roughly 80 countries. And yes, and territories as of 2025-2026. Again, God bless and thank you all military. But why do we have this? No other country does. Yep. Maybe the Matrix moves on to something. Yeah. It's empire. I mean, we're a global empire. And also it's a tax write-up because it's a business expense for that advertising. Oh, he was talking about the corporation.
The private equity it's a business expense, the marketing. Oh my God.
If you got it back to scratch, there's money to be printed. How much did COVID cost the US? The total cost is more than 16 trillion. Sorry, I meant 6, not 16. But yeah.
That's interesting though. I see you have other people like in your area too, all in Q and Crick County TV. Like there's a lot of y'all on this corruption thing.
Oh yeah. Now, brother, see, I would say I've never seen you on before, but I'm glad you joined us today. If you want to tell us where you're from, you can. But yeah, Crook County's local, and so is All in the Q. All in the Q is great. She does amazing reporting. And I always apologize to her because I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so overwhelmed with things to do that I don't have enough time to watch like everybody's videos because I barely have enough time to make my own. Buffalo. Oh, you're in Buffalo. Okay, cool. Cool. That's cool. Another great industrial city that was, the rich people like shipped a lot of those jobs out. Horrible people. But no, I don't want to keep you. I don't want to keep any longer because you can always come back. We went long.
I'm gonna go to the gym, but it was nice to join you.
Yes, thank you for coming, Ross. And thank you guys. If you have, oh yes, it's still cold. My boys are chilly. Oh, yeah, no, brother C.I. Wazay, please like, subscribe, follow everybody. I'd love to see you again, brother C.I. Wazay. You have awesome comments. Like, this is amazing. Thanks to Russ. Thanks to everybody. Did anybody else have any questions or any questions, comments, concerns before I? Let's see. Did I have any other comments? Thank you, CI. How did you find me? I'm curious. CI was a. How did you find me? Because you've got some great comments on there, buddy. And Ross, thank you, buddy. Yes, please like, share, subscribe. You got to come back. You're good. You're a good. You're a fun one to interview and have on. This guy. I searched for a live chat, and it usually happens on Fridays, but could not find. Oh, cool. Oh, okay. So you just searched for all live chat? Oh, okay. Oh, I'm so happy. That's good. I love this kind of stuff. I live for it. It's fantastic. Well, thank you. I hope you come back for sure. And I encourage everybody. Please, please, please don't despair. The biggest weapon of the rich assholes is. Oh yes, he did. Brother CIA had some awesome comments. It's still snowing by you. No, thank God. Whew, our snow melted for now. I'm sure we'll get more, but it was actually really warm today. But the biggest enemy or the biggest weapon of the rich assholes, I think, is despair, overwhelming us. So you're jelly. I know. I'm so glad. I don't want to be shoveling any more than I have to. Don't despair. Try to limit your intake of news. I think we learned that from Russ, but also focus on what you can change and get involved locally. So, we're having conversations like this across communities, which is great. But also we're realizing that what we can learn, we can apply locally because that is where you have the power. You have so much power. Your voice is powerful, and don't believe anybody that tells you it isn't. So, Eisen. Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming. Eisen, do you want to tell us where you're from today before we get out of here? Welcome. Eisen.pro14. Let me see if I can find you. Oh, no way. Okay. Cool. How did you find me? Malaga, south of Spain. Nice. That would be a great place to book to vacation right about now. You just woke up. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Well, welcome. I'm glad you could join us today. And then let me see. Do you have set days and times? Yes. So I go just the past few weeks. I've started on YouTube to do a regular schedule just because it's easier for me and for everybody. So every night 10 Central. Every night 10 Central. That way, even if I don't have a ton to report, I want to stay in the habit of it, of building that audience, getting a feel for what you guys want to talk about too, what you like to talk about, what you like to hear about, as well as informing people what's going on. Yes, consistency, exactly. Establishing consistency. Yeah. You stream in TikTok. Okay. Eisen, how old are you? Is that you in your photo? No, that can't be. It's like a little kid. Is that your child? How old are you, Eisen? So yeah, you can join us anytime. So that would be New York time. That is, you said you stream in TikTok. That's cool. New York time for you in Buffalo, that's 11 p.m. So 11 Eastern. Yeah, and I will jump on TikTok. Ryan's Gay Chicago is the same. What do you call it? Name on TikTok. So I will. Oh, that sounds good. That sounds really good, brother. See, I was. Oh yeah, I was gonna look up your channel too to see if you have a channel on there. You're 2024. Oh, or 2014. Oh, okay. So you are 12. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're not gonna be old enough to vote or anything, but that's okay. If anything else, you can learn stuff and encourage your parents to get involved locally in Spain. That's good. We encourage that community involvement. Just kids like some Arabian Prince. Maybe one day, not to imply diet preferences, but maybe I can send you some buffalo chicken wing for Chicago pizza. Oh, this kid's like some Arabian Prince. Maybe he says he's 12, so. But that's good. If you're showing concern for government and stuff. It's mostly political, Eisen, yes, yeah. And then I have, TikTok, Instagram, et cetera, et cetera. But my TikTok, though, is only for 18 or older, I think, their lives. But yeah, it's a lot of community stuff. Let me see. I wanted to look up your. Oh, really? Brother CIA got the South Park profile pic? Okay, wait. I gotta look it up. Okay, Brother CI was there. Hold on, I'm putting you in right now. Brother C dash I dash was dash A. Oh, I see. Cool. Wait, let me view your channel now. Passion of the Christ, Sith Raid. Oh, you had some video game stuff on there. Oh, okay. You don't have too much on there, but that's okay. At least I know that's you. Then if you want to find briansgaychicago.com has all my links, and then yeah, I'm on Facebook, Insta, TikTok. Actually, I have a channel. It's about dancing. Oh, awesome, Eisen. I love the arts. I love it. Do you have any early predictions for the next front runners for each party once? Okay. For presidential? Oh Lord, I don't know, but I don't like any of them. Oman Drum, what's that? I don't see that. I see how she was almost my baby. Machindu and Passion of the Christ. What's Oman Drum? I don't see that. Oh wait. Yeah, I don't see that. What is that? Machindu? All right, I'll check it out. Trump. No, nah. What is it? What is that song from? I just checked it out, but what is that? Is it like an Irish song, drinking song or something? But no, I don't support Trump. I also don't support the Democrats. How green was my valley? Oh, okay, got it. Are you an Irishman? Is that why you're saying that? Oh, it's Welsh. It's Welsh? Hey, Sean. What's up, buddy? Man, I can't wait until I figure out how to connect this to my StreamYard. It'll be so much easier. You're Welsh? You're Welsh? Willie Wilson for oh, Lord. I don't like Trump because of everything he's done against the LGBT community. Same. Yeah. He's pretty bad. I'm gay, so yeah. Well, that's good that you know at such a young age. And I hope that your parents are supportive of you and that you have support because Lord knows for some of us, it wasn't so easy, honey. Okay, guys. Well, thank you again. And I'm gonna head off here. I will probably head on TikTok or be on TikTok for a little bit. If you want to say hi, otherwise I'll see you all tomorrow. I'm gonna try to do some political canvassing, and then there is something else. What was it? Oh, that's what I meant to say about tomorrow. I'm sorry, I almost forgot. Oh, it's St. David's Day on Sunday randomly. Okay. So tomorrow we're going to be canvassing for the Harvey Neighborhood Network and the Beautification Program. I know there's going to be some canvassing for Robert Peters, who's running for 2nd District congressional race. That I do support Robert Peters, not Jesse Jackson Jr. or the other people. Definitely not Yumika Brown. And then I think Sam is his name. They're handing out some stuff for him. Also, Alderwoman Monet Wilson in Calumet City. She will be having a meeting at River Oaks Mall and trying to promote, the stores in River Oaks and get people to shop River Oaks and say, hey, the mall isn't closed. It's still there, people. So that is, that's going to be tomorrow at 1 or 2. So I'm glad I looked at my calendar because I almost forgot to say that. I wish we had term limits on all federal government positions. Yeah. What I like better than term limits are recalls, because if you're rich and you have connections, you can always beat elections. You can always beat elections because you just pay somebody else to run and do the same stuff that that you were doing. But recalls are not perfect, but they're a lot better. Universal recall options. I had to move to my grandma's place because my dad don't like me. Oh, I'm sorry, Izan. Yeah, that's tough. Hey, Wyoming. Nice to see you. Alrighty, I'll give you guys 1 second before I cut her off, just in case anybody else has anything to say. Told you guys about the fire. Okay, good. We're good. All right, guys. So sorry there are more fires. I hope everyone stays safe. Yes, Wyoming, me too. It's not sustainable and it's not safe. You know, we only have a few firefighters and a few police for each shift. Meanwhile, these politicians and their overpaid cronies are making big bucks. I enjoyed the stream. Glad I found it by chance. Look forward to the next. So glad to have you. Yes, from wherever. As you can see, Wyoming gal, she's from Wyoming, or you know, the West Coast. So we love people wherever you're from. We're all about empowering people to change their communities. Your voice matters. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. All right, and I will see you guys soon. Every night 10 Central. Au revoir.